Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here tonight. I'm Kylie Walsh, the Executive Manager of Community Arts and Culture at Northern Beaches Council. What a fabulous job I have. I'd like to welcome you here to the Australia Day Awards presentation ceremony. Thank you for being here to acknowledge some of our very own residents who have made outstanding contributions in our community. So my job today is to talk through some housekeeping matters and MC you through the proceedings. So firstly, restrooms, anyone that hasn't been here before, straight up to the right, men's and women's, please feel free to go at any time. In case of an emergency, please follow our direction because we need to end up at Lionel Watts Oval if something happens. Now this ceremony should take an hour and a half, 2 hours, including photos at the end. So please feel free to go to the bar, grab a water or stretch your legs at any time. 1.5 to 2, because we've got a lot of people here that we need to celebrate and that we need to recognise. So you should all have a program. Now we're actually going to be doing it in that order. So if you're a recipient, you know when you're coming up, you know when you can get ready. So please be aware also that we're recording this ceremony and it will be broadcast on the internet, hopefully for family, friends and other members of our community to look at. And can you please ask for your phones, like this, to be on silent as we go through. So thank you all very much for coming. We're going to start the ceremony now with Karen Smith from the Aboriginal Heritage Office to give our acknowledgement of country.
Hello everyone. The light's so bright I can't actually see you all, but I can imagine you're all there. I'd like to say, first of all, welcome tonight and thank you all for coming. It's a special thing to acknowledge community, and of course community was something that was so important to Aboriginal people. Indeed, our kinship laws stretched kilometres across country where we had responsibilities to each other, to country and to the spirits around us. When we get to Australia Day, Aboriginal people usually call this Survival Day or Invasion Day. We don't see it as such a happy day, and I know even on this day, the 21st, the boats were already sitting off Botany Bay if they hadn't already stepped onto Botany Bay or Gweagal country. So I have been tracking this week and I realised that, you know, from the beginning of the week, the 18th, the first fleet was here and our lives were going to change forever. And it's something that it would be lovely for people also to reflect on the culture that's been here for 65,000 years and counting. I heard they found a new painting and a new way of dating the paintings, and they believe that this 65,000 years is going to be undone again, and it's going to be much older when they date these paintings. We were probably the first agriculturalists, the first scientists. We were probably one of the first mobs to make bread. There are so many firsts in our mobs around the country. So think of our mob and what they would be feeling on this day. In the Northern Beaches, we're very lucky with this beautiful climate. And of course, when I read the stories of the First Fleet, they were terrified by their summer storms, the lightning coming in and struck the fear of God into many because these lightning storms they didn't think were going to stop. And they were, of course, miles from home and with no way of knowing whether they would ever see their families again. So as we gather here today with our families, think of the Gayamagal people, the Gayamai, who were met and were some of the first contact people that met the First Fleet at this point. Now, we know there must have been many clans stretching on up the beaches, or a few more at least, but we don't know the names of these clans. It's only when we get to Barrenjoey and the northern area of the beaches that we know the Garigal clan were in that area. The people of Sydney spoke the same language. And it wasn't till you actually got to the fringes of the Sydney Basin that, you know, in the north, south and west, that you would have heard a different language or a dialect. So we have a language that we can use in Sydney called the Sydney language, because it was never given a name by the Aboriginal people. So tonight I'd like to congratulate you all for your work in community and this help in looking after each other and people who are less fortunate. I actually acknowledge you for what you've done and how you've moved and the vision you've taken in your life to work like this. So think of the Aboriginal people and think of the Gayamai, their ancestors, their spirits, their families that lived in this area and prospered just as we do now. Thank you.
Got to be COVID safe. We'll be doing a bit of this tonight. Thank you so much, Karen. Your acknowledgement of countries are always very moving. So now I'd like to introduce you to our Mayor, the Mayor of Northern Beaches, Michael Regan.
Do I have to wipe this down as well? Thank you, Kylie. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, on behalf of the Northern Beaches Council, can I welcome you to the 2021 Australia Day Awards. A big thank you to Karen Smith for that acknowledgement of country. And it's always a pleasure to hear you speak so passionately about Aboriginal people, locally in particular. And it is, as you point out, modern day Australia, as we know it, started here in the Northern Beaches in Manly. So it's lovely to hear those stories, and we need to do more to recognise that. Can I respectfully acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet and pay my respects to elders past and present, and acknowledge their continuing connection to this beautiful country on which we are gathered and this extraordinary community that we have. Can I acknowledge my fellow councillors who are here in the front row? You've got Councillor David Walton, Councillor Rory Amon, Councillor Penny Philpott, Councillor Sue Hines and Councillor Sarah Grattan. Welcome, councillors, and thank you for joining us. I should also say thank you to our musician who we heard earlier. So I think she'll be back for the National Anthem, because apparently we're not allowed to sing, which is probably a good thing. You don't want to hear me sing. Can I welcome our federal MP, Zali Steggall, member for Warringah. Welcome, Zali. We don't have Brad Hazard here. He's got a little thing called COVID on at the moment, so he's dealing with it as the Health Minister, but he's a member for Wacoast and he's represented by Toby without the tie on. Oh, did I say you got no tie on, Toby? Sorry. He told me not to mention it. It said smart casual tonight, so he took that literally. You're representing the Minister for Health, Toby. The local member. Honestly, he's also a soccer referee. He's also the head of the soccer referees locally. I've got to occasionally give it back to him. Bless his cotton socks. He will get me back. We love Toby. We have the Honourable Jonathan O'Dea. He is the state member for Davidson, which is where we are right now, and he's also the Speaker of the House of the New South Wales Legislative Assembly. Welcome, Jonathan. And we have Mr James Griffin, member for Manly, who is also Parliamentary Secretary for, I think it's Veteran Affairs and the Environment. Did I miss anything? And he's also got two very young toddlers at the moment at home. So thank you, James. And behind me, sitting, watching me closely, is a lady in blue with the uniform on. We don't mess with her. That is Acting Superintendent Jill Walters, and she loves COVID. Seriously. Thank you for joining us, Jill. You get a holiday soon, I promise. No, I don't. And we have 3 of our 5 judges here, which is great. We have, I believe, Denise Smith, Justine Gordon and Sam Wilkins. So welcome, and a big round of applause for you 3. It's a big deal. It is, whilst it's a rewarding task and being judges, it's a very difficult task and it's a very long task and it's very hard. So we appreciate you going through all those nominations and getting to where you did. We have apologies from Simon Moriarty and Tony Hilliger, who couldn't be here, who were the other two judges. We have some other special guests here tonight, and we're about to hear from one of them. Last year's Young Citizen of the Year, Dia McNamara. Welcome, Dia. We have Senior Citizen of the Year, Helen Hendry, and by senior we mean wise, we mean smart, we mean very educated, and we don't mess with you. And we also have the Sports Person of the Year, Chloe Trissick, and we're not going to definitely mess with her, so welcome. Unfortunately, our Citizen of the Year last year, Ben Torrey, is unwell and is unable to join us, which is fantastic because we don't want to catch whatever he might have. So anyway, so welcome to all of you. And welcome to everyone else here tonight. It's those who have been nominated, the award recipients, thank you for taking the time to do this. We know it takes a lot of effort to do that and we push it hard, but we also respect that it is a big deal to do, so thank you for taking the time to do that. And to the family and friends, it's important for you to be here to celebrate your loved ones because you know the outstanding contribution that they make and it's nice to see them peer reviewed. You don't do it to be recognised, but you do it because you love it and because you want to, but not to be necessarily formally recognised. So thank you for coming and sharing it. Tonight we're going to present 20 awards across 6 categories. They include Citizen of the Year, Senior Citizen of the Year, Young Citizen of the Year, Sports Person of the Year, Community Event of the Year, and 15 Outstanding Community Service Awards. Now, each award recipient was selected from a very large number of outstanding nominations, and there were a huge amount this year, which was fantastic. But by a panel of independent judges who have expertise in community services on the Northern Beaches, so they're no mugs, our judges. Now, those chosen were considered exceptional and very worthy of this recognition. So it's a huge welcome to our very special guests here tonight. You're very worthy, and we're very grateful and very humble to be in your presence, and we're very grateful we can celebrate it here, COVID safe and all. So thank you. Australia Day is, as we were saying, about acknowledging our nation's past and celebrating the present and uniting and moving forward together as a nation. And it's time to reflect on our natural journey and in particular, our national journey I should say, and natural, but in particular the ongoing history, its traditions and cultures, particularly the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. It's in time absolutely to encourage that strong dialogue about a positive and inclusive future. Aboriginal people have survived ice ages, they've survived pandemics, they've survived war, they've survived genocides, they've survived all sorts of atrocities thrown at them, and they are the oldest living culture of this planet, essentially, over 60,000 years old, and we need to do more to move forward positively. And I'm very grateful that we are, as a nation, starting to talk more about it and actually doing something about it. So, on that note, I'm now going to invite up our 2020 Young Citizen of the Year, Miss Dia McNamara, to speak. Where are you hiding, Dia? I can't see you from up here, but Dia, come on down. The microphone is yours, and no doubt someone's going to be COVID safe wiping it before I get here.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, councillors, dignitaries, award recipients and guests. This time last year, I was standing here at this ceremony accepting the award for Young Citizen of the Northern Beaches in recognition of the work I had done for my community and the environment. It was such an honour, and wow, what a year it has been since then. This time a year ago, we did not know about social distancing and remote learning and lockdowns. We didn't watch TV each day for Minister Hazzard's coronavirus updates. We didn't have to wear masks to go shopping, and we certainly did not know what a valuable commodity toilet paper was. This was a year when life changed for everyone, and a year when we were all very grateful to be living in Australia. But it was also a year when community became more important than ever, and a year when we had to all work together to make sure everyone was okay. Despite the global pandemic, there were still vulnerable people that needed to be looked after. The charity I packaged breakfast packs for had to start doing takeaway dinners for people in need as they could no longer serve dinners. In fact, as the restrictions necessary to keep everyone safe took hold, more people than ever needed support. And volunteers and charities and government agencies stepped up to do this. Neighbours checked in on neighbours. People shopped for the elderly so they could stay home. Meals and treats were dropped to hospitals for doctors and nurses working on the front line to care for everyone. People helped each other. Movements like the Viral Kindness and My Street Support networks were established. People put teddy bears in their windows so children could go for COVID-safe bear hunt walks around their neighbourhood during the lockdown. It really has been a year where people have cared for each other. I feel very lucky to be part of the Northern Beaches community and to have been able to give back to it in some small way. Congratulations to everyone being recognised here tonight. You are all doing something to make the world a little bit better. Thank you.
And right there is why we're in good hands in the future. Thank you, Dia. Don't run for Prime Minister, go for President or something like that. Thank you. And I should say, and touch on what Dia was saying, it was an extraordinary year for all of us, and particularly for our children, who probably and hopefully will never experience anything like that ever, that kind of a year and that change that they all went through. I mean, whether you had teenagers doing school from home, or you had little ones doing school from home and you were trying to work from home, or the different changes they had to go through, it was an extraordinary year and probably the most difficult they'll ever get through. But they all made it. They all just went with it, they all went for the flow, and they got through it. And it's important for them to remember that and be reminded of that. It was a very interesting and challenging year, particularly for our youth. But can I say to everyone too, that Christmas and New Year period where we're all asked to lock down again, and I know the Premier says it every day, I know the Health Minister says it every day, and Dr Kerry Chant says it every day, thank you to the Northern Beaches, but it's important to know, thank you, because it is sincere and it is genuine, because we did an extraordinary job. They'd never done 40,000 tests in a day, and that was up to us, and that was because we didn't want to be in lockdown, but we had to play our part. And you all played your part, and you all did an extraordinary job. So a big round of applause to you and your friends, and for doing the hard yards, particularly anyone who was locked down, because that would have been very, very hard. So well done to all of you. Now, the awards. The first 5 awards tonight are going to be presented with a trophy made from reclaimed red oak timber, no less, and a certificate. So we're going to start with the 2021 Northern Beaches Citizen of the Year, and I'm going to ask Christian Barwell to come forward and ask all of you to congratulate Christian. Now, could I have Jill, whilst Christian comes up here and gets embarrassed as I speak about why he's been awarded this, Jill, you're going to set your position right for the COVID-safe photo. Aren't we all sick of that word COVID? In May 2020, Christian founded his own organisation, Up and Over, a new service that aims to provide a group-based social opportunities for people living with disabilities on the Northern Beaches. The program provides activities packed with excitement, fun, energy, and most importantly, sees friendships created between young people. Christian makes things happen, goes the extra mile in helping local families where he can, and his aim is to raise the spirits of those in the community that he deals with. He advocates and promotes a can-do attitude that inspires others to be more accepting of individual differences. Christian, thank you. Normally we want on stage somewhere we go.
Good evening, Mayor Regan, dignitaries, councillors, fellow award recipients and guests. Thank you for welcoming me here tonight, and congratulations to all the other award recipients. I'd just like to quickly acknowledge that I don't think that I would have been here tonight, and I don't think that Up and Over would have been so successful so early on without the overwhelming support of an amazing network of people behind me, the likes of my parents and immediate family, a few ex-colleagues who provided mentorship along the way, the people that Up and Over support on a day-to-day basis and their families have just been instrumental. Also the work of my business partners Ali and Enola, and just all the staff that we've taken on in our first year. It's been such an incredible experience to see all of our staff buy into such a positive and empowering team culture, especially in 2020, such a trying year already. From day one, we wanted to provide a service that was valuable and meaningful to people living with disabilities on the Northern Beaches. and really turn and flip the traditional idea of respite right on its head. Traditionally, respite is defined as providing someone with relief from a problem, and we really wanted to challenge that idea and provide a service that puts the focus back on individuals. We wanted to provide the opportunity for people to actually participate in activities that they want to do, achieve the goals that they set out to achieve, and extend the limits of their own perceived boundaries. The Northern Beaches has provided a really good opportunity for us to achieve this so far, with more accessible venues, accessible parks and beaches, and changing facilities popping up all over the place. And as Up and Over grows over the next few years, we're really looking forward to being able to work alongside the council to help create the Northern Beaches into a more inclusive society. So once again, thanks for having me here. And if you see us out and about in the community, come say hi and see what we're up to. Thank you.
One more time for Christian. That's fantastic, mate. Thank you for what you're doing. Now, this is a good one. This is Northern Beaches Senior Citizen of the Year. His name is Michael Christie. Could I ask you to come forward, Michael? Hopefully you haven't had too many of those free beers you were thinking you were going to be getting as a Senior Citizen of the Year. Could I ask Zali to come forward and stand at the designated cross on the stage there, the COVID-safe photo spot? When I rang Michael to congratulate him and inform him of the award, he told me, does this mean I can get some free beers at the if I just take my trophy with me? And I said, absolutely. Whilst Michael, come, you're going to give you the award. Mike has been a very passionate, reliable and consistent volunteer with Little Athletics for the past 35 years, both in the roles of management, president, coaching, age managing, and as a representative carnival chief judge. So he likes power by the sounds of it, doesn't it? For the past 12 years, Mike has been head coach and committee member at the Seaforth Little Athletics Club. The Seaforth Little Athletics Club has almost folded a number of times due to a lack of committee members, but Mike has been instrumental in keeping it running by working with the community to help recruit more members. Mike's dedication, leadership and energy as head coach has helped the club to double in its size over the past 5 years and has created a great sense of community spirit within the club. Congratulations, Mr. Senior Citizen of the Year. Speech, sir.
Thank you. Wow, following those two, it makes it very difficult. Thanks so much, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, dignitaries, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's the first time I've actually been officially declared as a senior citizen. So that being the case, I need to put some glasses on, I guess. The next thing, of course, being a senior citizen, you tend to forget everything. So you need lots of pockets. So having forgotten things, I wrote down a few points about tonight's speech that I was forced to make. So I jotted a few things down, so I hope you don't mind me reading most of it out. In my younger days, I lived for weekend sport, and I had always played both rugby codes. and everything else that was on offer. Injury in my 20s put an end to my playing career, so to speak. So I ended up doing the next best thing. Initially, I coached both rugby union and rugby league. After I got married and the kids came along, I eventually got involved with little athletics. And I got roped into coaching, I think, on the second night of attending training. And I've actually never looked back. So well over 3 decades later, I'm still actively involved in all aspects of little athletics, which has been exceptionally rewarding. I'm still very passionate about the sport, so much so that they simply cannot get rid of me. My sincere thanks goes to the Seaforth Little Athletics Club Committee for nominating me, and I honestly assumed that would be the end of it. I was amazed that they thought enough of me to actually make the nomination. Then in early December, this gentleman over here, Mr. Regan, rang. Pardon me, he rang to congratulate me on receiving the Senior Citizen Award. I was actually overwhelmed and in utter shock. I actually didn't think I was old enough for such an award. I promptly asked whether in fact I was the oldest applicant and therefore won by default, or if I was the only applicant. This is such a great honour, and I'm very humbled to receive this prestigious award. I really don't see myself as being anything special, and never have. I don't see myself even worthy of such an award. I will therefore accept it on behalf of the many volunteers who put in long hours in sporting and charitable organisations that largely goes unrecognised. My congratulations are extended to the other worthy award recipients who work tirelessly for the benefit of the community as a whole. Finally, the biggest thank you of all goes to my lovely wife for allowing me to spend all these decades away from home. Thank you.
So the Club Totem we're going to, is that where we're going for the beers? Club Totem, wasn't it, where we're going? That's it? Good. My shout. That's all right. I think I just heard Bruce Loud in the audience say he's coming too. Which leads me to the, we've gone from the most senior, the most powerful, the most authoritative, the most wise citizen of the year to the youngest citizen of the year. An extraordinary young human by the name of Stephanie Evans. Stephanie, please come forward and accept your award. Now remember, stand on one of those funny circles there. Jill, you're going to be with part of this photo. Thank you, Jill. Stephanie founded Seas of Change in 2014 when she was just 10 years of age. Her organisation aims to raise funds and awareness for marine life and their environment. Seas of Change focuses on education and youth empowerment. Steph has been an Ocean Youth Sea Life Ambassador since 2017 and was a speaker at the Ocean Youth World Oceans Day Summit. Steph now mentors young kids across Australia and globally, helping them develop with solutions-focused projects to create a tangible change with the community for a wide range of environmental issues. And you started all this when you were 10. It's ridiculous. Big round of applause for Stephanie Evans.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you don't mind me reading off my phone. First of all, thank you so much for granting me this honour. Starting at 10 years old, I had no idea where this journey would take me, but I definitely could never have dreamed of attending conferences in Canada, research trips to SeaWorld and receiving this award. It is honestly quite crazy. When I first found out, there were definitely tears, and it makes me so grateful that I can live in a community like the Northern Beaches, where a majority of the council support environmental conservation and youth action. As a youth, fighting for legitimacy is hard, so this award means the world to me. This journey, although rewarding, has been fueled by blood, sweat and tears, so I'm extremely grateful to my family and friends and everyone who was a part of Seize the Change for their constant help and support from day one, as I truly would not be here without them. I've grown a lot on this journey, learning that when you step outside of what is considered normal, you become a target. I spent many years being ashamed of my organisation and cringing at the word dugong, but in the last few years, with my organisation achieving well beyond my dreams, I've become proud of what we have achieved. I've run this organisation for almost half my life, and I can't wait to see where I can take it as I enter into the scary territory of adulthood. I am so excited to use this platform to inspire, educate and empower a greater audience of youth to pursue their passions and create a tangible change within the Northern Beaches and beyond. My favourite part of running Seize the Change is being able to interact with young people when doing school talks, and I truly hope our programs will be able to continue this year. This is evidence that no matter what your age, your voice and actions truly can make a difference when mixed with hard work and perseverance, and I am just so excited to see where I can take Seize the Change in the future. Thank you.
Did you see that, Michael? Teenagers, they've got their phones and that's how they read their speeches now and they do their speeches. They talk about 20 times faster than you and I. They can keep up. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Seriously. We have the Northern Beaches Sports Person of the Year, and there's the two most sportiest people on stage right now, and Jonathan, you nearly made the cut on this one, but it's Ali and James. If I could ask you for the photo first. Ruby True. Ruby, can I ask you up to the stage, please? Young Sports Person of the Year. Well, no, not young, Sports Person of the Year. Well done, Ruby. Stay there for the photo, and I'm going to embarrass you now and tell you everyone why you are Northern Beaches Sports Person of the Year. Just the age of 12, Ruby has already won local, Australian and international skate events, as well as local, regional and state surf events. What were you doing, Michael, when you were 12? Certainly wasn't skateboarding. Ruby has also been a guest speaker, a mentor, an advocate, a coach, an organiser and volunteer at several skate and surf events and that have been held locally, and has been a skate coach and a mentor at the Ice Skate Australia run sessions at Mona Vale Skate Park since 2018. Ruby is an extraordinarily positive role model for young people, promoting health and wellbeing, self-esteem and self-confidence, and is just an extraordinarily amazing athlete. So congratulations to our Sports Person of the Year, Ruby.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you all for coming this evening. Firstly, I would like to thank Justin Burke from the Northern Beaches Youth Services and Hagan McCreath from Monster Skate Park for nominating me for this award. I'm truly honoured to be receiving this award tonight for the Sports Person of the Year. I'm truly grateful for this opportunity. I would also like to say thank you for the workers of the council that come to the skate parks and clean and take care of all the skate parks. They take all of the graffiti off the ramps so us skaters can use them. We really appreciate all of your work that you do for us. One of my dreams is for there to be an indoor skateboarding facility right here in the Northern Beaches, where I can inspire athletes like me to become braver, to be determined, and to put skateboarding on a platform where I can make younger girls as well be better and to improve and just like have fun and learn more out of the sport that we have. Finally, I would like to say thank you to my sponsors and supporters, Hurley, Nike, Mad Mex, Aloha Manly Style, and Northstain Board Riders, especially my mum and dad for always supporting me ever since I was born and helping me through my skateboarding and my surfing. Thank you.
Did you see that one, Michael? On the notes on the hand. Dia, paper. Steph, she had the mobile phone, and she had the hand. The world is in safe hands. We are dinosaurs, mate. Ruby, that's outstanding. You are an extraordinary human. Thank you so much for everything you do, and thank you for the work you do with council and your amazing speech. That was fantastic. Thank you so much. You are the best, and we love watching you skate. I haven't seen you surf, but I've definitely seen you skate, and it's scary. And I'd love to be able to tell you that that's how I did my foot injury, but it's just not what happened. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. The award for the 2021 Northern Beaches Community Event of the Year, which I think is the final one, so I can get off the stage and hand back to Kylie and we can hear from the others, is Community Event of the Year 2021, 28 for 28. So presented by Making Mediation Mainstream. Congratulations to 28 for 28. Congratulations. Now Jason Partington from Making Meditation Mainstream. You're going to come up and accept this award, I understand. And I'm going to ask Sally to come forward to get a photo with. James, I might get you up as well. Both James and Zali do a lot of work for lobbying governments and for change with mental health. And thank you, guys. So we have, while 2020 has been a tough year for most events, Jason saw an opportunity to reach out to the community and provide support during a crisis. 28 for 28 was a month-long mental health initiative in October 2020, which encouraged Australians to take control of their own mental health and increase their mental resilience through meditation. The event raised $31,900 for Lifeline, which answered 1,139 crisis calls. It also raised awareness about the benefits of meditation and educated the participants about the challenges Lifeline faces, particularly in response to the escalation in suicide rates and mental health challenges experienced in the community. Can I say a very sincere and humble thank you to 28 for 28 Community Event of the Year.
I'm with Michael, I'm on the other side. I'm with you. Geez, I'm glad I prepared a speech, kind of. But good evening, Mayor Regan, councillors, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being here. It's, most importantly, it's my 50th birthday today. So I just wanted to thank the council for putting on the celebration for me tonight, and the bar's open, everyone, so just help yourself, go for gold, all the catering's done. Yeah, thanks very much for putting that on. Firstly, I just want to say it's always a privilege to be able to support and serve the community, especially during such an incredibly challenging year in 2020. I would really like to take this opportunity to thank the organisations and people that have supported making meditation mainstream to do the 28 for 28 campaign. To Lifeline Northern Beaches, and particularly Deanne Bennett, who is in the crowd tonight, to really want to acknowledge you and for our close partnership and the work that we do together. We thank you not only for the incredible work that you do to support the community, but also your belief and support in us making meditation mainstream to create this special event and to support you to help others in need. Lifeline truly understand how powerful meditation and mindfulness can be in supporting and nurturing positive mental health for the community. To our corporate partners, a quick mention, because we couldn't have done it without them, Lang & Simmons Real Estate, Prana Chai, Dropbox, the REA Group, Glamorazzi Design and Roland Music. Most importantly, we have over 50 plus meditation teachers and leaders who contributed with both live and pre-recorded daily meditations throughout the entire month. These meditation leaders not only do this, but hold meditation sessions every week that they volunteer for across 13 sites every Saturday at 6:30 a.m, rain, hail or shine for the community. They're all volunteers and they lead with their heart and soul for the betterment of the community. And finally, I just wanted to thank the Northern Beaches Council for supporting making meditation mainstream and recognising its important contribution and support within the community. Thank you.
You're very lucky we're not allowed to sing, because otherwise we will be singing Happy Birthday right now. But isn't it good that staff are putting on free drinks in the bar? That's fantastic for your 50th. Well played. Gee, that, Michael, I'm out of it. I don't have to pay. I don't have to do it. Well done, everybody. And can I now throw back to Kylie, who's going to assist with the Community Service Awards. And just a big, sincere thank you to all of you who won awards and for some wonderful, very speeches. And thank you for sharing all that with us. Kylie, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to have soft hands at the end of tonight from handling all of these. So thank you. So I'm going to do the next 15, the Outstanding Community Service Awards. And they're all in order in your program, so you know when you're going to be called up. All of these winners will receive a certificate and also a local Indigenous native plant. We'll save the plant to hand to you after the ceremony, after we have all of the photos. So we're going to have group photo, not a group photo, but photos of individuals at the end. So our first recipient, let's get started, is Ryan Bell. Congratulations, Ryan. Please come forward. Could I have Acting Superintendent Jill up as well, please? Thank you. Ryan is awarded for raising money to provide gifts for children living in the Manuringa Women's Resource Centre over Christmas. Ryan does an amazing job of collecting goods and raising money to hand over to this amazing charity. Congratulations, Ryan. Would you like to speak? Just one moment. Phone as well. Okay, there you go.
Thank you so much. This means the world to me. First of all, I would like to thank Mum, Dad, Sue Hines, and especially Gran. She has been the biggest help and just so much. I'm really grateful for all your help and support. 4 years ago, I was sitting at the dinner table with Mum, and she said, I have to clean my room, which I think all mums do is nag you to clean your room or do a clean out. Then she asked what I'm going to do with the stuff. And I said, sell it, because all kids want money. Well, who doesn't? But then she asked me what I would like to do with the money. Well, that got my mind rolling. And I said, donate it to charity. Mum talked to Sue a couple of days later, and she suggested the women's shelter. And I said to Mum I'd like to donate it to the kids. And I said to Mum I would like to give them money so they can go get new stuff from the mall instead of second-hand stuff. For 4 years, I've been giving them $50 vouchers. Every year, I do 4 to 5 garage sales a year and drop-offs where people come and drop off items and donations. Then, after each year, I write handwritten cards and put the vouchers inside the envelope. Then I take them down and donate them. But because of COVID-19, I haven't been able to do many garage sales and no drop-offs. But here we are today. Thank you again, everybody, for all your help and support.
Thank you, Ryan. What a worthy recipient. Next, we have Georgie Campbell. Congratulations, Georgie. Georgie, please come forward. Jonathan. Georgie is awarded for volunteering for Sydney Wildlife Rescue for more than 20 years and adopting and fostering many small animals saved from research. Congratulations. Come on up. Okay, come on over, Georgie.
Wow. It's wonderful actually standing here in clean clothes for a change. I'm not actually covered in snake poo or possum wee or blood, as it was the case today. Good evening and thank you. I'm ever so grateful and humbled to receive this award. I would like to express my gratitude to Lindley Greg for nominating me. Lindley is also a dedicated wildlife warrior, and I'm proud to regard her as one of my best friends. Another special mention of thanks is to Sonia Albert. Sonia's not here tonight. Sonia is in fact the founder of Sydney Wildlife Rescue, and again, a best friend of mine for 20 years now. Ladies, I'm blessed to know you both, the experience we've shared together, the laughter, the tears, the sadness and joy, as well as immense grief, in particular during the devastating bushfires. I'm in awe of both of you. Grant, my soulmate, my husband, my beautiful partner of 20 years now, thank you for your love and your ongoing support. You're so understanding and compassionate, especially towards all the bush turkeys that I've released in your vegetable garden. I do try and adhere to your rule of no animals in the lounge room. We currently only have one pygmy bearded dragon, one water dragon, one possum, one rescue lab rat from Liberty Foundation, some fish and 4 frogs. I love you. You've hit the jackpot with me. Grace, our beautiful daughter, outstanding service to the community often comes at a cost to family time. Grace, thank you for coming on this journey with me. You're a perfect role model. Our expeditions together, especially educating other kids who truly look up to you. I love your sense of humour, and I also love the fact that you can ID snakes even before I've seen them. On the topic of snakes, snake rescues are quite possibly my favourite. A common species I encounter quite regularly, non-native to this area, is in fact the garden hose. People often ask me if I get bitten. I usually say no. Well, today was actually an exception, and it wasn't a garden hose. Being a volunteer is so rewarding, and it certainly keeps life interesting. Working as a volunteer, I often have the privilege to work with the police, the Royal Fire Service and paramedics. Thank you, police, for assisting me on so many occasions. Thank you for stopping traffic on a busy road while a crazy lady runs around with a sack over her head to collect baby plovers while being attacked by protective parents. Thank you, paramedics. I'm very grateful to have your assistance on many occasions. A note to you middle-aged men. This seems to be a recurring pattern. Please don't try and help with snake rescues. Please don't try and jump fences, and please don't take photos from roofs. It never ends well. Thank you, Royal Fire Service, for helping the paramedics carry out these middle-aged men. And your assistance on so many occasions when I've needed ladders and help for a variety of critters stuck in less than ideal spots. It's always an adventure. My favourite people to assist in the community is, in fact, the elderly. I can guarantee a 10-minute rescue always requires a couple of hours, countless cups of teas, photo albums dating back past the 1960s. I'm proud to be a volunteer and offer a free service to anyone ever in need. I would like to dedicate this award to my loving Nana Daphne, who passed away recently in her 99th year. Nana, I love you. You'd be so proud. Thank you.
Our next recipient is Penny Savetto. Congratulations, Penny. Please come forward. Penny is awarded for volunteering for Lifeline over the past 4 years and being a strong leader, including in the role of Book Fair Committee Coordinator. And I think most of us know anything about book fairs, know that it's a very difficult job. So congratulations, Penny.
Good evening, everyone. I think it must be impossible to live on the Northern Beaches and not know that Lifeline runs book fairs. About every 3 months, you will have seen springing up around on the roads, on the corners, outside schools, the posters, the banners, advising you that yes, we're running yet another book fair. What you may not know is that the book fairs are run totally by volunteers. The books are donated by the general public across the Northern Beaches and are processed, packed, sorted, priced and transported to the venues by people who are giving up their time across the community. It really is a situation that's a win-win all round. Particularly in the last 2 years, we've noticed that Marie Kondo has made a great contribution to Lifeline Northern Beaches. Many of you over the last 12 months have also had quite a bit of time at home. And during that time have been very productive, turning out your bookcases, cupboards, and sorting through your CDs, DVDs, vinyl records, books, jigsaws, puzzles, and very kindly donating them at our book depot down in Brookvale. Each book fair takes about 175 volunteers to run. There are volunteers who put up all those signs. There are volunteers who come from the student community across the Northern Beaches who help us set up. Our volunteers that work in the book depot, I think we have an age range from about 50 through to 90 plus, and everybody works together in a harmonious team. It's an absolute delight to be a part of the whole system that brings the book fairs to the community. In return, the money that is raised goes to funding the phone calls that are there as a service to people in the community who need help. It's an absolute pleasure to be a part of bringing all of those people and their contribution together and to coordinate all of their efforts. So I stand here today as a very humble recipient of an award that goes to all of those people who've made their contribution. Lastly, I'd like to thank the committee members, past, who have established the book fairs over the last 30 years. I can certainly remember moving here to the Northern Beaches 20 years ago, and one of the first things that I did with my family was to go to the book fairs and feel that we were making a contribution. So past committee members have made a significant contribution to building the book fairs, and the current committee has transformed the way that we have brought those fairs to you, the community. It would be remiss of me to miss this opportunity to ask all of you who've got a mobile phone to make a note now that our next book fair starts on the 15th of April at St Augustine's College. We certainly hope to see you then. Thank you very much.
Our next recipient is Chandler. If Christine, you can come forward, please. Christine is awarded for volunteering as the executive cooking instructor and driving force behind the delivery of cooking programs for the Forest Men's Kitchen, which has actually grown from strength to strength over the last few years, COVID accepted. Congratulations.
Thanks, everyone. It is blinding up here. Cannot see a thing. I am really humbled to be here. I never thought that I would be here. What I've been doing over the last couple of years is just what I do. So firstly, I'd like to thank Peter Watson, who is the founder of the Men's Kitchen, for the nomination. And it's been such a pleasure to work together over the last couple of years. Who would have thought that we'd be teaching men from the age of 60 to 93 how to cook? You know, they're from all walks of life, they've got such enthusiasm, and most importantly, they have a very open palate. So I can just say, okay, let's cook this today, we'll go to Morocco, we'll do this, and they love it. They never complain. They always send me beautiful emails afterwards to say how much they have enjoyed it. COVID stopped our classes, and we had to diversify. So we started Zoom, and in the beginning, the men were all on Zoom, and I saw a lot of belt buckles and a lot of ceilings. And by the end of it, here they are with their cameras. Here, Chris, look at this, look at this. And they're making pavlovas by themselves and full roast dinners with their own gravy, no packet stuff, and it was amazing. They're just so clever. And they do like a pat on the back, as we all do. So if you encourage them and they take a good photo of their food, and I'll put that on the recipe, and they're so proud, which is really good. During COVID, we did cooking lessons every single week on Zoom, and many of the men wrote to say that it was the highlight of their week, and that makes you proud to think that all these men are just looking forward to cooking, and they shop for it. They now know their own kitchens, which they didn't know before, so that was fantastic. But to do those classes, I had people in my house. I had a couple of men that were struggling through COVID with loneliness, and so we invited a couple of men to come to my home and cook. And I had Trish Kingaby, who is not here tonight, but without Trish, I would not have been able to do a Zoom class with 15 men and 2 men in my kitchen. So I am very grateful to Trish for working with me for the whole of last year. As I said, the enthusiasm of the men keeps you going, and that's what's exciting. I've taught cooking for many, many years in paid roles, and I have to say that volunteering is the most rewarding of any job that I've ever had, and I'll continue on because it is so fantastic. And we hope that COVID, doesn't stop everything again this year, but we are continuing with Zoom because the men are enjoying that as well as getting back to our physical classes. So we look forward to doing that again. So thank you, Peter, for the nomination, and thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Christine. I'd now like to invite Lindley Greg up to the stage. Congratulations, Lindley. Please come up. Lindley is awarded for volunteering over 9 years for Sydney Wildlife, including providing awareness, training and advice and organising fundraising events.
So I'm obviously used to talking to animals, so this should be very exciting for everyone. The Northern Beaches Council do a wonderful job of honouring its volunteers, and we are all very grateful for the recognition. I personally find it very touching that my fellow volunteers, Joan and Ira, took time out of their crazy schedules to nominate me when they are actually a lot more deserving of an award than I am. So being nominated by two of the finest rescuers in Australia is the greatest honour of all. And the people who are even more deserving of this award than me are my very tolerant husband, Justin, and my two teenagers, Connor and Kaylee. They put up with having a car overflowing with rescue equipment, a fridge full of animal food instead of human food, a garage full of critters where the car should be, and having at least one, if not all, of our bathrooms out of commission because at any one time they are housing seabirds, sea snakes, turtles and echidnas. I was chatting to someone the other day about what we do, and she looked a little bit confused. So do you wander around the bush all day looking for injured wildlife, she said. I realised that not everyone maybe understands the process of wildlife rescue and just how integral every person is to the chain. We may be the ones with the title of wildlife rescuers, but the fact is that every single one of us is responsible for protecting the wildlife in our area. For a wild animal to be rescued, we need the help of the whole community. We need the early morning dog walkers and joggers to discover the nocturnal critters that have met with trouble overnight. We need the gardeners and landscapers to find orphaned babies on the ground or reptile eggs that have been unearthed. We need the pool attendants to find little critters that have fallen in the pool or maybe been trapped in the skimmer box. We need horse riders to report injured kangaroos in their horse paddocks, and we need the tradies who are on the road super early to report victims of vehicle strike. So we pretty much can't rescue anything if we don't get called by you, the members of the community. The actual process of rescuing can be extremely dangerous. We are often dealing with venomous snakes, 80-kilogram kangaroos or massive goannas, and often in very dangerous locations such as rooftops, open pits, open sewers, the middle of the highway, and let me tell you, you take your life into your hands when you step onto the Waco's Parkway to do anything. We're often checking pouches, and I'm surprised that I haven't been taken out. The animals also are not just sitting there sweetly, waiting for you to rescue them. They are trying to chew your face off. So some of our rescues involve locations which have boat access only, and we're very lucky that we have members of the community, such as the Water Police, who step in to assist. And when we are trying to capture a wallaby or a kangaroo on the parkway, our wonderful police officers step in to stop the traffic for us while we run around, as Georgie said, like maniacs. We often need to access the top of trees to disentangle birds or bats from fishing line or kite string, and we need our wonderful fireys to lend us a hand and with their equipment as well. Then, once we have rescued the animals, we rely on the cooperation of our wonderful local vets and staff to help with rehabilitation. We are also very grateful to our educators, as they are the ones who stress the importance of the natural world to our future wildlife rescuers. And we are thankful to the little children that they teach, because children are very, very good at imparting their sense of wonder to the adults who have probably become a little bit jaded and detached from nature's treasures. It is these little children who will put out water for wildlife on hot days, and they build little rock crevices and hollows in which the animals can live. But perhaps the ones who can help the wildlife the most are those with the power and the means to protect their habitat. Our government, our local MPs, our councillors. So no matter who you are, you can be a wildlife protector, because you will be remembered forever by the footprints you leave behind. Thank you.
Thank you, Lindley. I'd now like to ask for Michael Hardy to come down. Congratulations, Michael. Michael is awarded for volunteering endless hours to the Rural Fire Service over the past 7 years as a senior member of the Great Mackerel Beach RFS.
Evening, everyone. Hi, Lindley. Big shout out to Sydney Wildlife. Thank you, Northern Beaches Council, for holding this and accepting my nomination and going ahead with it. I want to thank the RFS for all their training that they give me and embellishing me to be a first responder in our little community over at Mackerel, where I last saw Jill, I think. Can't wait to see you again. The brush turkey ate my speech, Michael, so I got nothing, I'm just ad-libbing. Nick Hart, thanks. We'll talk about this later. You know, I love public speaking. My big shout out goes to my great partner Sharon Green and my little boy Gil, and there are countless hours that I'm out of the house, disappearing at night time, or not there in the morning when you wake up, and not being available on the weekends because I've got better things to do with the RFS. I apologise, but I do love volunteering and smelling of smoke, and there's a few other RFS people here tonight. We love a beer after a fire. So anyway, good luck to all the other volunteers. Congratulations. It's like one of the ladies said, it's one of the best things you can do. It's the most enjoyable job I've ever had. All right, thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Michael. I'd now like to invite Bruce Loudon to come up to the stage. Congratulations, Bruce. Where is he?
Do we have to?
Yes. Bruce is awarded for his voluntary contribution to numerous local organisations and charities over the past 40 years, including as Secretary of the National Servicemen's Association and Senior Layman with the Freshwater Uniting Church. Congratulations, Bruce.
Did they mention your cricket, mate? Did they mention your cricket?
Just look straight ahead.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Michael Regan, and distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen, and fellow award recipients. It's a pleasure for me to receive this award from our good friend Jeff Mackay up there with his lovely wife Pat, and thank you for sharing it with me, and with my lovely daughter Sandra, who is sharing it with me. It's been, over the years, I've love to do the work of volunteering and helping the community. I hope that they have received benefits from it. But it's also been a tough time for me also, because in 32 years ago I lost my wife through breast cancer, and only 4 years ago I lost my son through taking his own life. But I've managed to be able to keep up with doing things and to not dwell at home and feel sorry for myself or what. And I've kept going and have made it such that I've been able to contribute. But I call it stepping up and reaching out into the community. And there was a couple of occasions in which stepping up occurred to me, and which I won't forget. And that was when I was at home and after losing my son, not long after, along comes Mr. Michael Regan, and along comes Brom and his wife. And because we share a love of cricket, what did he do? Pick me up and take me out to the test match at the cricket, and there was Jonathan also. And we enjoyed a lovely day at the cricket, at which that day it was Warner got 100 in the first morning. It was lovely. Really, really nice. And so that's something I won't forget. It's stepping up again when I was emceeing the Independent Retirees Association at DYRSL. And it was the time for me to bring on the speaker. And just at that time, the speaker had a sudden little minor medical episode. So I was stuck. What was I going to do to fill in this time? Guess what? Our Mayor, Michael Regan, jumps up and off the cuff takes over the role of speaker. That I won't forget either, Michael. So it was really fantastic. So it's a thing that to me, volunteering is a great thing to do. It sort of lifts your soul to give you extra spirit to drive further. There must be something in my DNA. There must be something in the DNA, that little gene there that says, come on, get going, get up, get moving, and whip me along, and it somehow does. And I've never identified it, and I somehow wish that perhaps I should. But in any case, it's been one in which I've enjoyed the whole period of time. And this certificate of which I'm about to receive is an award for the work that I've been doing, which I haven't sought, but it's been certainly a surprise to me. But it's more than that. It's a certificate of encouragement for me to continue on, and at 87 years of age, I still feel as though I've got a few more years left. So I will be continuing on doing what that certificate represents. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. Oh, okay, the next one to invite up is Adam Lynch. You come on down, Adam. Adam is awarded for starting BEAT, Bladder Cancer Australia, in 2018, with a mission to raise awareness of bladder cancer, provide information and support to the bladder cancer community, and to influence treatment and research. Congratulations, Adam.
Hi everybody. It's an honour and a big surprise to receive this community award amongst all of these wonderful people here tonight. So thank you so much. Pleasure to be here. To be able to make a difference doing something that you are truly passionate about. I founded Beat Bladder Cancer Australia charity in memory of my wife Anna, who tragically passed away from bladder cancer in 2017, aged just 45, leaving my two beautiful children, Noah and Manon, as well. We needed to raise the awareness of bladder cancer, that it exists, what its symptoms are, and what to do. And we also needed to provide patients and their families the information and support that just didn't exist for Anna. Bladder cancer is the 10th top cancer in Australia. It has the second worst survival rate of all cancers and is the most expensive to treat. Patient advocacy is such a rewarding place to be, being able to help those that truly matter, the people that are impacted by this terrible disease. And we are really proud of how much we've been able to achieve. A small team of volunteers, but a combined and shared passion and a clear goal and a lack of bureaucracy. It's been a horrible year with COVID, although actually it's enabled us to better reach many more Australians than we ever would have done. People have changed their behaviours to online, to video chat, to social media, and so we're now reaching many more people than we've ever reached before. And it's been so rewarding touching people right across Australia, raising awareness and providing support to patients and carers in rural, regional and metro communities right across Australia. And if we can save just one life, then we've done what we desperately wanted to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adam. The next recipients are Laura and Jordan O'Reilly. Please, I understand that Jordan is unable to join us today, but Laura will be here to accept the award. Laura and Jordan are brother and sister and are awarded for founding Fighting Chance in 2011 with the mission to give people with disability the opportunity to participate, contribute and reach their goals. In 2015, Laura and Jordan also co-founded Higher Up, which is an online platform connecting Australians with disability with support workers who fit their needs. Congratulations, Laura and Jordan.
Well, good evening. On behalf of myself and my brother Geordie, thank you so much for the extraordinary honour of these awards. As many people have reflected tonight, trying to affect social change and push the dial on an issue that you care about, in our case, the lives of people with disability, it can be hard and often exhausting work, and so to receive acknowledgement like this from the community is a real boost, so it means a great deal. Thank you very much. We started both Fighting Chance and Higher Up, Fighting Chance in 2011 and Higher Up a few years later in the Northern Beaches community. And although we didn't know it at the time, this is an extraordinary place to seed and try to grow organisations. We've been so fortunate the whole journey to receive extraordinary support from right across the community and civil society, and many people who are here tonight have supported us. Minister Hazzard has been an enormous supporter of us right from the beginning, and Toby indeed has helped us a number of times with various challenges we found ourselves in. Also Jonathan O'Day, our local member, has been there all the way through to support and encourage us, and it's meant a great deal. And the Northern Beaches Council from the very beginning, and Michael Reagan in particular, has been one of our most important and steadfast supporters, and whose help has meant so much. And Council indeed has done so much to help us. For example, we through their social procurement policy, Council gives our social enterprise jigsaw work to do, which has helped us to create over 150 jobs and traineeships for people with disability in this community. So without the support of this community, I just don't know where we'd be. Today we have grown beyond the Northern Beaches. We have sites across Sydney and in Brisbane now, and this year we'll be opening both in Newcastle and in Melbourne. So I guess we've sort of grown beyond this community, but at heart we will always be a Northern Beaches community, and that for me makes this award so special. Finally, I just would like to finish with two thank yous. Firstly to May and Ross McKenzie, who nominated Geordie and myself for this award. Thank you so much for your support. It means an enormous amount. Ross is one of our very talented trainees at Jigsaw and does an amazing job in that capacity, and it meant a lot that you thought to nominate us. And finally, I'd just like to say a big thank you to my little man Zane, who I'm very proud of and love very much, and also to my husband Mo. As people have said tonight, trying to affect social change and do something in the community can have an outsized impact on our families and the people that we love. And my husband has been so supportive of me all the way through, has been there to help me in hard times, and has allowed me the time to dedicate to this work. So thank you to my husband and to my family, and thank you to you all.
Thank you, Laura. The next recipients are another lot of siblings. We have Brett Robinson and Luke Robinson. Please come up to the stage. Congratulations. Okay. Jonathan, could you please join for the photo? Brett and Luke are brothers who are awarded for their voluntary contribution to the New South Wales Royal Fire Services over the past 10 years. They are both strong leaders within the Northern Beaches headquarters, with Brett as president and Luke as captain. Congratulations. One or both?
All right. Again, thank you, everyone tonight. So, Mayor Reagan, dignitaries, all the recipients of the awards tonight. It is an honour, and I am privileged to receive this award. But at the same time, I'd like to say there is 1,700 volunteers in the Rural Fire Service in the Northern Beaches District, which is, for a small district and probably the smallest in the state, is an amazing feat. We all know last year we responded to the worst bushfire season in New South Wales and Australia's ever seen. But since then, we haven't stopped. COVID has been a lull for a lot of people and a lot of lives. But we've also been assisting New South Wales Health with their COVID marshalling through the Christmas period. A lot of the volunteers lost their Christmas time. Through that, we've also been assisting Department of Communities Justice Services with food bank deliveries for the vulnerable around the Northern Beaches. We've also, as Georgie said, don't know where you are, a lot of bushwalkers, snake bites, mountain bike riders, a lot of people just completely unprepared in the bush, and we're assisting carrying them out quite long distances up steep trails. So again, I'd like to take this award, but also take it on behalf of the Northern Beaches District, the volunteers from all around Sydney that assist the Northern Beaches community. Thanks.
Well, I don't think I'll beat that speech. So Mr. Mayor, dignitaries, guests, family and friends, I'd just like to say thank you. I'm humbled to receive this award tonight. I can think of many people who deserve this award as well, and I would like to share that honour with them, and also at my station as well. Over the time I've been with the RFS, I've had the privilege of serving not only the Northern Beaches, but also the wider state in times of crisis, as well as through many community events. Most notably for me, the Eurofest, who have supported our brigade for many years, and has been an amazing community event in the past, and we all hope to see return in the very near future. Whilst the demands of my role as a volunteer firefighter has been strenuous, both physically and mentally, the satisfaction I've gained from helping people has helped shape me into the person I want to be. to serve alongside my brother Luke, as well as my other brother Kyle, and all of my good friends at headquarters. It has been a wonderful experience with a helping hand always there to get you through those tough days, especially what we had last year. And also to the community over the last 12 months, it has been a very tough time for us all, but the response during the bushfires last year was nothing short of amazing, and likewise again during these recent weeks and months with COVID. It just truly shows how great this community is and how we can band together to get through the hard days, and for that I say thank you.
Thank you, Brett and Luke. Our next recipient is Maria Dolores Samet, or Doris. So congratulations, Doris. Please come up. Jonathan, could you please? Okay. Doris is awarded for her involvement in multiple community organisations, including as mentor for children at Kids Hope, as a cooking teacher for the Men's Kitchen, aren't those men lucky, and at Northgate Church in Belrose. Congratulations to Doris. I think we've got the photo. Come and say something, Doris.
I'm more nervous. It's so bright here. Anyway, Maria was my first name. My mum had 21 children, okay? But as I got older, I said, call me Doris. So Doris is my name. Anyway, I hope I can understand my writing because I didn't go to school. But I can read it, and I can read it very fast. My spelling's not that good. When I was younger, I was a brownie leader. Anybody heard of brownies? It's Girl Guides. I used to look after 25 beautiful girls. And then after I'd done it for 10 years. And then I worked in a nursing home, which I enjoyed, for 13 years. I was cooking for 150 people, and it was really enjoyable. I went to TAFE because I wanted to learn to read and write and mix with the young generation. So I was about 55 when I decided to go to TAFE, and I did commercial cooking. And I said, how can I understand all these reading, writing, computer? You know what it's like. Anyway, I made it. And then I started to help the Men's Kitchen. Thank you, Peter. I don't know where you are, but anyway, thank you, Peter. I said, can I help out? And he said, yeah, come along. So I've been doing it for 4 years and I love it. What else I did? I'd like to thank the Mayor, Michael, and my daughter, Sharon, and my husband. They always supported me. I did so much voluntary work. When I was young, I always wanted to retire at 60 and then help other people. And I love doing it, and I still do. I have people coming at my house for coffee and cinnamon toast at 6:30 in the morning. What else? Oh my gosh. I help at the church, at my local church. We feed the homeless, and I make boxes for people in need. So it's been very, I love what I do, and I do it out of my heart because it's lovely to see people happy and enjoy it, You don't just look at them, you just do it. So that's who I am. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody, and I'm a bit nervous too. Anyway, I thank you very much anyway. Thank you for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Doris. Great job. Great job. Okay, I'd now like to ask Thomas Spithill to come up, please. Thomas, congratulations. It's really hard to see people from here. Here he comes. Tom is awarded for his contribution as head coach of the Royal Prince Alfred Yacht Club and as a long-serving volunteer and mentor. Tom has had a particularly positive impact on the lives of over 300 wounded, injured and ill veterans and their families by establishing the Veterans Sailing Program. Congratulations, Tom.
It is bright up here. I might need some sunscreen, Mum, if you've got any. Thank you, Mayor, dignitaries, councillors, fellow award winners, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I was inspired by Mick's ad-lib performance before, so be remiss of me to follow notes or been organised to write anything down. And I was sort of banking that I'm later on in the evening, so everyone's probably zoned out now. So if I waffle on it, it won't be too painful. But I'll try and make sure, Michael, we can get to the bar and celebrate that 50th. I'm really humbled I feel dwarfed by everyone else's achievements here. I get to do something that I love and get to be a part of something I'm very passionate about with veteran sailing. And I guess there's a lot of pressing issues at the moment, but I guess our health and well-being of those serving and returned servicemen and women, it's got to be right up there as one of our paramount priorities. Not only that, but our first responders as well. We've got police, fire brigade, paramedics. We get to do sailing days with them. So tomorrow we'll get a busload of participants from St John of God Hospital, from Soldier On, and we get to go out there and I get to just have a lucky day and another excuse to go on the water and chew someone's ear off. So thanks for the nomination, Craig and Scott. I think it's just an excuse for us to go out and have a few beers later, but I'm very humbled and thank you again for the nomination. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. The next recipient is a group of people. It's the Bagala Bowling Club Committee. Congratulations to the committee. We have committee members David Bartholomew and Paul Terry to come forward. We couldn't have the whole committee on stage, we couldn't fit. The committee members of the Bagala Bowling Club are awarded for their commitment to saving the bowling club from closure and revitalising the club for the enjoyment of the community. Congratulations to the whole committee.
That's for sure.
It is, isn't it? Over to you.
Thank you very much indeed. Firstly to our nominator, Lynn Ryan, who kindly put our name up. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Bartholomew and I'm joined by Paul Terry, also representing the community of Bagala Bowling Club and our committee, who have been chosen to be recipients of this very prestigious award. As a club, we are most appreciative of the Northern Beaches Council. Mayor Reagan, thank you for your kind organising of this function and choosing our club's nomination amongst many others. Ours is relatively a small bowling club, but steeped in tradition with a history going back to the 1950s. However, the last 2 years, we have seen the club committee make a conscious decision to move away from being just a bowling club and offer our clubhouse as a base for the wider community and the various activities that we can see all around us. During these past 18 months, the local residents were quick to respond and support this idea. We now provide a fresh option for families and their children to relax in a family-friendly atmosphere, away from the home and the usual television, traditional laptops and electronic games, which I think is a part of life, but not necessarily the best way to bring up your children. To achieve this family-friendly environment, unlike most clubs, we chose, and it's a financial pressure for in doing so, that we do not have any poker machines or any other style of wagering to supplement our income. So we are now proudly known as the Bagala Bowling and Community Club. And here there are extremely limited options of anything similar anywhere in the Northern Beaches, really. It's either a sporting club or a leagues club, but no small little club where we have no issues. People can walk around, bring their kids, and have a nice evening out. We are pleased to see that in a small way we have contributed to the community, and our club helps the service to people of Bagala, Seaforth, Fairlight, and the Manly area. Still, whilst our community is made up of many ladies and gentlemen, or all volunteers, as we've heard today, volunteers is the only way that we can go forward as a community, and we are no exception. And without this support from our members, we could not go any far at all. However, we have to survive, and financially, this is where we need to receive the support and have been most appreciative of the funds made available and grants, etc., by the federal government through local member Zali. Thank you, Zali. We've not met yet, but I appreciate your office working closely with us. And of course, we have New South Wales State Government, and appreciate the work that James has done with us. We've had him at our club often, and he's been very instrumental in getting a few little minor things like helping with the air conditioning so that we can survive a day. And there are little things in a small club that matter, but we don't have too much, and whatever we get, we are most appreciative. But of course, most importantly, we like to acknowledge the Northern Beaches Council, who after all are our landlord, and have been most generous in assisting us at all times. We thank you, Mayor. We understand it's not easy to find this financial support, but your kind cooperation in helping us through these really difficult times, particularly after the COVID issues have made life so difficult, have been a great help indeed. We continue to survive, again, because of volunteer work and the fact that we have moved away from traditional bowling clubs to being community-minded. I forgot to mention, we also work with the local schools, and at times we brought children with various different handicaps to enjoy a bit of sunshine and pleasure in the open spaces that we have there. So if you do have the opportunity, any of you, please feel free to welcome to come and join us, have a beverage, share our hospitality, and see how a small club can have such a good, meaningful, responsible activity in an association that involves the community at all times. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
And I bet you're glad you're not the Avalon Bolo. Too soon? Thank you for your kind words to Council's contribution and that, and I think Councillor Walton, I think David had some, and Councillor Grant maybe, but certainly Councillor Walton was lobbying well and truly on your behalf. Congratulations to all the winners today. Just a question for Doris or Maria. Your parents were Catholic, right? 21 kids, no electricity in the house, right? Bless, seriously. What an extraordinary bundle of joy you are. And how good has Pete got it from, he's got you all sucked in to come and teach him how to cook, him and all the other blokes how to cook. It's taken him 5 years, he still can't cook, but he invites you in, he organises these things. The way to a man's heart, bless his cotton socks. But thank you, and it's really good too, I thought, that Bruce, you were so humble and thanking myself and others and telling us and sharing with us all about yourself. But thank goodness the person who nominated you, Jeff Mackay, didn't know anything about your cricket career, because we could have been here forever. What people don't know is in his other life, he was actually a cricket coach. He was a very good cricket player for the men in green, the MIGs, the Warringah Shires. He was instrumental in getting one of the cricket pitches down there. I think it was at Harbord and also at Weldon. He was just instrumental recently in getting the nets down there, and I think he even poured the first concrete for the first pitch down there at Harbord. So, mate, thank you for your contributions that go far beyond what you're doing today. They go the whole span of your 87 years on this planet. So thank you, mate. And thank you to each and every one of you. The best part about this evening is that, and I know it's COVID safe and there's only, a third of the audience we'd normally have, but it's nice just to be able to share all those stories with each other and hear what everyone else is doing and how much work and dedication you all give across all different spheres. It's amazing. I mean, I'm tired of talking about rescuing critters, Lindley, seriously. Like, you're on Facebook all the time. If I have to hear that anymore about snakes, I mean, it's nice that you acknowledge your family and your friends there and others, but all the other stories that we don't get to hear so much, who aren't great at rescuing critters. But Laura, it's great to see you here in that extraordinary organisation you created all those years ago in that little place in Brookvale there. What an extraordinary place. When Jean Hay and I got the opportunity to meet you and your brother at the time who inspired you to do it all, who's no longer sadly with us, but certainly you and Jordan, what you've done and what you continue to do, and it's great to hear that Jonathan and Brad in particular have been, and that you're expanding, like, to have that support. But you guys are extraordinary, and but everyone here. So I just want to say thank you all tonight. Thank you for all those people who nominated you. Big round of applause, people, for nominating. It's a big deal. One small thank you left to do before I give you the drum to kick you all out and all that sort of stuff, and that is, because isn't the bar being shouted for someone's 50th birthday? I remember that. Mike, yes, it's all good. Can I say thank you to council staff who've organised this event. It's been going up and down. Rules keep changing every other day at 11 o'clock, as we know. This has been happening. This has been in planning for some time now. We had this many guests, that many guests, etc. But in particular, Natalie Watson, I think it is. Thank you so much, Nat. Come out, take a bow. Awesome. We're lucky to have you, Nat, but thank you to all the council staff for putting this on for us all. We're going to conclude with the National Anthem. I'm going to ask, what does it say here? At the conclusion of the National Anthem, we'll ask each award recipient to come on stage for an individual photo, it says here, and you'll be called up by staff one by one, so please remain in your seat until called, so that you can come up and get some photos on stage with family. Once the individual photos of each recipient has been taken, there is an opportunity for family members to come on stage also for a photo. Once your photos have been taken, please exit the theatre via the bar. But right now, did I say that out loud? Can I ask our singer, there she is, come on out and sing the National Anthem. Are we allowed to stand? We're not allowed to sing, but we can stand? Sure. Please stand, everybody, for the National Anthem, but do refrain from singing. It's very strict, isn't it, Jonathan and James?
Australians paradise riches, for we are young and few. We've golden soil and wealth foretold. Our home is blurred by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts. Our beauty rich and in history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. for those who come across the seas. We've boundless place to share. With courage let us all combine to advance Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing, advance Australia
No lip syncing there. That was good. Now, please, as I said, remain seated. We're going to have staff come out and do this. Is that correct? And call up the individuals for their photos, and then we'll get the family members up as well at some stage. Thank you, councillors. Thank you very much for being a part of this. Thank you to our VIPs, to Jonathan, James, Toby on behalf of Brad without the tie, and Zali. Thank you so much. Have a good evening, everybody.